It's not about the colors on the surface. It goes beyond the land that I have trodden. It goes before me everywhere I go.
I'm now standing with the ambassador of the Ugandan embassy in the Nordic countries. Anyway, he will explain his portfolio himself, but let's hear from him. Sir, you're most welcome. I'm honored to be speaking to you. It's the first time I'm meeting you.
Thank you, Isaac.
And
nice meeting you too.
I'm humbled.
Thank you.
Now, tell me something. It's been an amazing seminar here about tourism in Uganda. What do you think is the best way to promote tourism in Uganda here within the Nordic countries?
First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Zaake Wanume Kibedi.
Okay.
I'm the Ugandan ambassador to the Nordic countries, and when we talk about Nordic countries, some people confuse the Nordic countries with Scandinavian countries. Mm-hmm. Scandinavian countries, they are three: Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Mm-hmm. But the Nordics include Finland and Iceland as well. So we are based in Copenhagen, but accredited to all these countries. So the purpose we are here today is to promote something we've called named Tour Uganda.
Okay.
You see, Uganda has not been so well known in the tourism destinations of Norway, and yet there is much that can be realized, can be seen when someone gets there, as it was summarized by Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of United Kingdom, in 1901 after visiting Africa. He said that indeed Uganda is the pearl of Africa. In the beginning, I gave about 7 reasons why, me personally, I feel that Uganda is different from other African countries. One is that it is in Uganda where you find the source of the longest river in the world. It is in Uganda where you find the second largest freshwater lake, that's Lake Victoria.
Yeah.
It's in Uganda where you can have your night with your head in the northern hemisphere and legs in the southern hemisphere.
That's right.
It's in Uganda where you can find snow at the equator.
Okay.
It's in Uganda where you find the very happiest people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Uganda where you find the tallest and shortest people in the world at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually, precisely, I call Uganda the United States of Uganda because we have more than 56 languages. Can you imagine? But unlike other countries where you've seen genocide, Uganda, though we are many different cultures, language, but we work together as always, and we are one culture, we are one community. So not because I come from Uganda, I've traveled to a number of different countries, but I feel that Uganda is one place where someone must visit because you also enjoy the perfect weather.
Yeah.
It is summer throughout the year. I was testifying in this seminar this morning that my first time to put on a jacket was after getting here. I'd never used a jacket before because in Uganda, even if it has rained, the thing I was using was a sweater. After 1 hour, you take it off. So that is precisely what I can say as far as tourism is concerned.
Yes.
But there are many other things like in business, like whatever you may need to talk about Uganda. But that one, we discussed it also in May last year when we had our business forum here.
Okay.
And I'm happy that one person mentioned it here, that we should still organize a small workshop for the business community here to know what business opportunities are there in Uganda.
Yes.
Yes.
So how does that fit into the NABA, the Norwegian African Business Summit?
Actually, we had a meeting with them yesterday because Uganda, I should say, is the gate to the East African region as far as business is concerned.
Okay.
They used to call Uganda a landlocked country, but it is a land-linked country. Because if you are based in Uganda to do business, you are in a market of not less than 140 million people. Because Uganda in the east, we have Kenya. Before going to Kenya, Uganda alone has a population of now 35 million people, according to the 2014 national census. And we have our neighbors in the east, Kenya. we have DRC Congo in the west. In the north, we have South Sudan, which is the biggest trading pattern of Uganda now in the whole world. 46% of our exports go to South Sudan. And then in the south, we have Tanzania and Rwanda, Burundi. So this gives you an immediate market of 140 million people before going to COMESA, because Uganda is a member of the common, it's called the Common Market for East and South African countries, COMESA. It has 27 member states, and it has a population of about 400 million people. So when you are based in Uganda to do business, you have access to this entire market. So that's why I believe that it can be a center for business. And it's the reason one big company is going with me next week to Uganda to do a partnership with government. That company is called Maersk. It's the biggest shipping company in the world. They want to develop the transport infrastructure in Uganda to make it a logistics hub of the region.
Okay.
Right.
So how do we correct the misperception or misconception that Uganda is still linked to Idi Amin? It's like every person I meet in the Nordic region that knows nothing about Uganda at least knows about Amin.
Yeah, you are right.
So how do we fix that?
Right. Before, President Idi Amin was using decrees. Just wake up, make laws by himself. But now Uganda is democratized. It has 3 arms of government. There is parliament, which oversees the first of all, the main work of parliament is to make laws.
Yeah.
The second role is oversight, to oversee what government is doing. That's why it's parliament that approves the national budget.
Yeah.
And then we have the judiciary. In Uganda nowadays, there are no extrajudicial killings.
Okay.
So even if I have a case with you, we have to go through court.
Yeah.
However much I may be the ambassador, I cannot take you on without using the law. So
right.
It is one interesting thing that now in Uganda, the systems are trying to be developed to see that for us to realize our vision of 2040, 30 years where we are looking that by 2040, Uganda should become an upper middle class country. Systems must work.
Yeah.
We have no way out. Systems must work. And this is where we are moving. And I was happy when I heard the president swearing in last week on Thursday, saying that now amongst the areas where we've underscored, one of them is corruption and bureaucracy. He said that personally now, I'm going to take the lead. I believe if this is implemented, then the growth of Uganda shall be by double digit, because apparently our economic growth rate has been at an average of 6% for the last decade. So if we can work on the shortcomings like corruption, infrastructure development, systems working, then we shall grow by double digits. Right.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to communicate to the Ugandan population of the Nordic region?
One important thing to communicate to the Ugandan population in Norway and the Nordics is that Uganda is our motherland. The saying is north, east, south, home is best. So I invite you to join us, your embassy, to work together to see what best we can offer for Uganda, especially how best Uganda can penetrate the Nordic market and how you can also attract back home your experiences, your skills, your knowledge to benefit our communities back home. We should do away with things that divide us, because Uganda is bigger than any of us. Today I'm here as your ambassador, tomorrow it will be some other person, but I will not cease being a Ugandan. So that's why I'm inviting all of you to work with us closely, not only to come to embassies in times of trouble, but you come and we work together for the development of our country. Yes.
It's not about the colors on the sun.